The Girl and the Raven. We do not live in a simple world. It is not black and white. There is no good and evil, only grey. Here, it can be bright and warm and as glorious as we imagine heaven would be. But it is also cold and dark, lonesome and cruel. The wind can bite so hard, it steals your breath from deep inside your lungs. And the darkness can be so complete that you no longer know what lurks just beyond your nose. Our stories are the same. Some tell tales of beautiful elves, the kindness of strangers, stories of sunlight and romance. Others, the more common ones, speak of trolls that steal children in the night, ghosts tapping on your window, cruel parents, and losing your way in the snow and ice, never to return. This story is somewhere in the middle. The middle. The middle. There was once a girl. We do not need to know where she came from or how she got there, just that there was a girl who worked on a lonely farm run by a very greedy farmer in a secluded valley in the dark north. She was not the daughter of the farmer, and he did not treat her as one. She was one of many who worked on the farm, but she was very much alone.
One day, little mouse, one day things will not be so bad. Farmer makes us work hard, I know. Work, work, work. No time to rest or play. But here we have a roof over our heads and food in our bellies. And we have each other, little mouse. You and I. At least we have each other.
And so the years rolled on, until one winter the snow came so thick and the wind so fast, and it did not stop. No spring came to warm the earth. The animals froze in their barns, and people began to starve. The greedy farmer, however, had plenty of food. But no matter how many of his neighbors came to him, he would not share. Dear child, I am sorry to bother you, but the night is cold and food so scarce. Might I trouble you for a chair by the fire and the scrapings of the pot to fill my belly?
Oh, sir, come in, come in. You mustn't be outside tonight. Let me help you.
Girl, who is this? Another beggar at our door. There will be no handouts from me, old man. Now get out! Girl, you will not take in any more strays. I have worked for everything I have, and no lazy old man, woman, or child will see a scrap of what I have earned. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Early the next morning, as the girl scraped the morning porridge from the pots, there was a tapping on the door.
Silly raven, what do you want? Are you hungry? Let me see what I have. But you mustn't tell my master. You know, silly raven, before that greedy beast sees you. But come back tomorrow and I'll feed you again.
Now you can probably guess that this was no average raven, as I know you know the way of this kind of story. And so it happened that the next morning the raven was again waiting at the door. The girl fed him and talked to him, and his games made her laugh. And this happened for several days, the girl and the raven becoming friends. But one day, the greedy farmer caught the girl feeding the raven. He was so angry, for there was no room in his heart for anything but greed and anger, that he locked the girl in her little room and refused to give her any food. That night, the girl stared out her window and wished with all her heart that she could go away from this place and the greedy farmer. It was then that she saw the raven. It was beckoning her to follow. So out she climbed, through her window, and into the snow. She followed the raven, further and further from the house, up the steep mountain. The air was still and silent. The raven stopped at the top of the mountain, and as the aurora danced all around him, he transformed into a wise-looking old man, all dressed in white. It was the same old man who had come to ask for food, the man the girl had tried to help.
Oh, but you were not a raven at all.
The girl exclaimed as she understood. Her friend, the raven, was Old King Winter. He reached out his hand and the girl stood beside him. As she watched, he raised his staff and slammed it down into the snow. The earth began to tremble, and then the snow began to tumble down the mountain, down, picking up speed as it went. The earth screamed a sound like thunder as the snow tumbled, the avalanche growing. Until just suddenly, all was silent once again. The girl looked down the mountain towards the farmhouse, but it was gone. The avalanche had taken it and everyone inside and buried them beneath the heavy snow. The girl cried then. She turned to look at the old man, but he was gone. and in his place stood her friend, the raven. And that is the story of how the girl became the only survivor of the avalanche of Vatnsdalur. And a reminder to us all to always be kind to others.